Cable Cakes, Cable Cakes, Cable Cakes, Cable Cakes. It's your favorite girl, April Watts. Welcome to another edition of Ego. That's Everybody's Got One. It's a podcast about opinions. I've got mine, you've got yours, and my amazing panelists, they have theirs. Today, we are going to be talking about women and sexual freedom. What does a sexually empowered woman look like to you? What is that?
Sexually empowered women are women that are confident and they are unapologetic about how they express themselves.
This whole facade as to what is to be portrayed based on what the woman should look like and based on what the woman should be.
It's acceptable for I mean, quote unquote, like if a guy wants to be out here just, hey man, I'm slinging this thing to, Trina, Katrina, Belinda, all that, what I mean? It's like, oh, it's cool. But if a woman does it, it's like, hey man, I don't think that's really acceptable in the sense of because you are a lady and that's not ladylike.
How many men throughout the course of music history have made music out of calling women hoes, out of treating them like hoes? So you got two women that say, yep, there's some hoes in this house and I'm gonna make money from it. I'm happy for Frank Ski. I'm happy for Cardi B. What up, Frank? I'm glad you got that bag, Frank, okay? I'm happy for Megan, and I'm actually also happy for every woman that has ever been slut-shamed, because people act like hoe is a dirty word or hoe is a dirty thing. I wanna get into the definition of hoe. What is a hoe?
So here's the thing, right? And I'm going to say this analogy that I was told. That
okay, break it down.
Key that can open any lock is considered a master key.
Okay. That's good.
But a lock that can be opened by any key is considered worthless.
That's bullshit, and it's a power dynamic.
But I wanted to hone in specifically on the professional sports world, because I see some changes, I see some things transpiring, and I want to understand them, and I want to have a conversation about them. Is there a place for politics and for protest in professional sports?
Basketball players have a major platform in which they can express themselves, and their fans and everybody that engage with them can actually see in real time what's going on. Most of us on the ground don't have as bigger platform as some of those celebrities or entertainers or athletes.
You don't want them to be so self-righteous for the movement in the moment that they take away their revenue, because the revenue is what is allowing them beyond this moment to continue to reinvest in the places that they come from and address the change that we're all trying to see.
Is building a person up from scratch overrated?
Just to jump in for the ladies, for this particular guy right here, I don't know what is it about the light-skinned bays? Because haven't we been here before? Didn't we do this with Jail Bay before? Wasn't he tall, light-skinned, prison bay? Yes. Tall, light-skinned, had the girl take care of him, ended up leaving her, getting with another one. She took care of him after he got out of jail. I don't know what it is.
Is the light-skinned bays?
It's something about the light-skinned bays, the locked-up light-skinned bays.
The locked-up light-skinned bays.
They got that pen game on lock. I don't know what it is, but ladies, you know what I mean?
Yes.
I believe it's an age thing, and I'm real big on giving people passes up until 35. So if a person is doing, I got a lot of fellas or friends of mine who are doing things that we did at 19, 20, like, I can't even be around you right now.
Right. Mm-hmm. You have to know, like, how far are you willing to go? Yes. How far can you go before you're playing yourself?
What am I investing in? Am I investing in you? Am I investing in the marriage? Am I investing into the relationship? Because the relationship is at the top, and what am I giving to it? Mm-hmm. If I'm giving something else to it, so I know what that relationship is. So
what the hell is Black Twitter? Where did they come from? What are your thoughts?
I still don't know what Black Twitter is. Like, is it Twitter only for Black people? Like, I don't know.
It's like the equivalent to the white they or the man.
Okay,
so now
the man.
We have a they.
It's a black
which
demand.
is Black Twitter, right?
We kind of set the precedence for everything,
right?
I guess. Exactly. And so it's kind of like that's that swag of like this is what the blacks say, and this is who has to go and who gets to stay. Like
you have people just canceling people, and it's not necessarily Black people saying, "Oh, you're canceled." It's also white people saying, "Nick Cannon, you're canceled." Now, cancel culture is just a general culture that seems to exist on social media. What do you think about the real life implications of it?
When you are canceled, Black people forgive easily. It's only when the white person cancel you that you are really canceled. Because let's go back to the Nick Cannon. They canceled all his shows. White people who are in charge are the head of it, right? Let's just say, with Black people, you are canceled today. All right, you came up with something else cool tomorrow. I like you again because I was just mad at you for the second, but I forgive you. But when white people cancel your money, that's when you're really truly canceled.
Do you believe that your vote really counts?
I really look at voting as paying tribute to those who lived and fought so hard, who didn't have the right to vote. Now, I also firmly believe that the political process leaves a lot to be desired for people of color. And so I think that's a conversation that we can delve into, but our vote most certainly matters. Your vote was not given to you. Your vote was fought for and earned, largely by a sacrifice that we didn't make.
Our vote counts, every vote counts, what you do with your vote counts, and what you do after your vote counts. And if that wasn't the case, I know you didn't want to talk about voter suppression, but if that wasn't the case, they wouldn't be trying to subtract or extract votes if they didn't count. So there's no question, like nobody should be even contemplating whether or not your vote counts. It's did you vote or not?
If you don't exercise your right to vote, you don't exercise your right to complain.
Exactly.
So we have to understand that there's a propaganda. The media has told us 2 things about Black community, 3 things. First, that Black people don't vote. Secondly, if Black people do vote, it is women and seniors. And thirdly, media says that Black men don't vote. But you just heard Eric say that you have to at least identify whether or not you're of a certain age, if you're willing to go into the military, able to be drafted, all of these things. It is a lie that we have bought into that our voice does not matter.
For all of the obstacles that are put in place to minimize the participation of all voters, especially people of color, we've got to be doubly committed to doing what we have to do to push through that bullshit.
I get that we're in a presidential election and it's exciting, it's weird, because,
very weird.
Fucking
very weird.
Insane person that is at the helm, and then, another person who's less insane, who's trying to ascend to the helm, and it's political theater for sure. But
Definitely.
I mean, in between those elections, there's so many, smaller seats or local state races that matter so much more in your day-to-day living than anything that Donald Trump or Joe Biden could ever do or promise to do, or the federal landscape is what it is, and like it operates on a macro level. But politics, cliche aside, is local. And so if you're not engaged, not just voting, but engaged locally, you're losing locally. And so when it doesn't have to trickle down if it trickles up. If you're losing locally,
right,
you're losing at the state, you're losing at the national level. You look at the national level and say, well, they're trying to keep us down. No, you're keeping yourself down because the low-hanging fruit you passed on. The easy election where you could get to know the candidates, where they wanted to knock on your door and sit down and talk to you. If you're not open and inviting to that, then you're setting yourself up for those larger macro losses.
Stand up and be heard. We love you. God bless you. Good night.
Y'all keep pushing.
All right.
That's right.